Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Good Vibes, Good Times with Manny and the
Wifey.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about the first years of our marriage, how difficult it was, and all the struggles we had to go through before we got to where we are today.
It's like they say, the first years of marriage is always the hardest, and we're no exception. So this episode's going to get really juicy, so we recommend you get your chips and your sodas.
Popcorn, ice cream.
Anything that you want to munch on while you watch this episode.
Cake.
Yeah, if you got cake, get it. So we'll give you an opportunity to go get those snacks, so we'll pause it right now.
Do you think they want to go get their ice cream?
I hope so.
Did you get your snacks?
We hope so.
Because on this episode, we're going to be taking off where we left off. Like we said, me and Ernie got married at 18 very
19,
young.
Yeah.
The first couple of months were like peaches and cream.
Yeah, they were
really
heavenly.
good.
Yeah. We were eager and excited to get our lives started.
Yeah, so then that's when we decided that we wanted to get pregnant. We got pregnant 2 months after we got married.
Yeah, after 2 months, yeah.
So then after we got pregnant, that's when things started taking a turn, right?
For the worst, yeah. Once Betsy started getting pregnant, yeah, just a little after she started, her belly started showing, is kind of where things started to go wrong. We were finding out who we really are, right? You don't really know who you're with until you live with them. Once you live with them, you see everything. You see their bad traits, their good traits, like what makes them tick, the things that you're gonna like, the things you're gonna dislike. So when you live with someone, that's when a lot of the icebergs start coming your way, and how you deal with them. It's based on both of you. And because we were young, we didn't have navigational skills, right? We were just like, Lord, take the wheel and, take the problems or tackle the problems as they came. But we were too young to realize how to handle them appropriately. So there was a lot of fighting, a lot of it. It was always everything. If the milk was left out, why didn't you put the milk away? Like, not even like, oh, can you put the milk away? It's like, why'd you leave it out?
If the seat of the toilet was left up, or just like, if Fluffy, he's visiting.
Oh no.
He's our baby.
He's gonna leave you full of hairs. So during Betsy's pregnancy is where a woman needs the most from her husband, right? Because it's a difficult time. She's dealing with changes in her body, changes in her mood, and that's where she needs the male support. And me being young and me being dumb, I'm not trying to excuse myself here. I take full responsibility for my ignorance. Getting married young and going in without a plan. I didn't see the signs that she needed me, right? Or if I did see them, I'd ignore them and be like, she's fine. She can handle it. And that is the worst thing, when you believe someone that needs your help and you purposely say, it's fine. They're okay. And it's not. So Betsy was having a rough time with the pregnancy, and me, I was just being an idiot, really lazy, just really not into the whole situation, which is terrible. And it affected me once I started to reflect and see the things that I did when we were married. It made me realize that happens a lot to us guys too, where we believe, or not that we believe, but we get stuck on what we want, right? It's like, all right, what do I want? And not think about what our partners want, right? It's a partnership. It's like, if I want this, what do you want? What do you need? Instead of what do I need? And that was the situation. I put myself first and put Betsy second, which is, a terrible thing to do, but I did. So that's where the problems started coming. And that's when we were just like, she cried a lot. She was very sentimental. Obviously, any woman who's pregnant is. And that annoyed me from remembering during those times. Like, I was like, man, why are you crying? Like, why are you crying all the time? You cry for spilled milk. And instead of helping her up, like I say, as partnerships, you got to help each other up during, the times that you need it the most. I was putting her down. I was like attacking her. Like, man, you're always crying all the time. I don't know why you're crying. Like, it was just a terrible situation. The way I treated her was just horrible. But, at that point, that's where we were like done. We were like, that's it.
I felt unwanted, unloved. I felt like a bother. I felt like I couldn't do it alone.
Yeah.
I needed my husband, the person I fell in love with, the person who loved me when we were dating.
Yeah. It was very difficult because like being the person I am now and how in tune I am with Betsy's feelings, just knowing how she felt back then, it was very difficult. Because a lot of the time we don't realize how like we affect each other.
Don't cry.
I know.
Don't cry.
I know.
Don't cry. Don't put it. Don't cry.
Like, so when you start to reflect and you start to see the actions and decisions that you make and how it affects your partner, like it hurts. It's like it shows that you care. Or if you're a person that hasn't found out what reflection is and how to reflect on the things that you do, you're going to be completely ignorant to everything that's happening. And you're going to cause a lot of problems for yourself and for your family because you can't see what you're doing. And only through reflection can you stop and think and say, how is my decisions, how is my actions affecting those around me? Betsy and me just got to the point where we were just ready for divorce. We were just like, we're done. We're so done with each other. And, it got to the point where we were like okay with the idea of divorce. Like we wanted to make sure that, JD was, like good, right? Like we didn't want to have a bad, relationship between each other because we know we were going to have to split her. So we were like, okay, well, how about I take her these days and then you take her these days. And on that one day that's in the mix, you get her 1 week more and then I'll take her the next week. So we had a whole plan out, right? We were good. We were good on the idea of splitting up. We're like, I think this is the best decision. So then what ended up happening was like, you know what? No, like we got to fight for this. Like we know we love each other. We just got to come up with a plan. We got to come up with a way to keep moving forward and to get past whatever this is that we're going through.
And then we'd fall right back on the...
Yep.
On the...
In the negativity of things. And
I remember this one time, like, when I was pregnant, I never got cravings, like, ever. And one time I was asleep. I was dreaming that I was eating nachos with barbacoa and lemon juice. And what else? Like pico de gallo.
Yeah, cheese, the whole thing melted. Yeah.
Like this whole plate of
glop of goodness.
And I woke up and I told her, hey, babe, like, I feel like eating this. Can you go get it for me? Like, can you go get me a plate of nachos or something, like at the store at Salsita?
No, it was at Filiberto's. Yeah, Filiberto's
like somewhere.
Here.
Like, I don't care. I just want this thing. I'm craving it so bad. I want this. You were asleep, huh?
Yeah, I think I was, or either I don't remember. I think I was.
Yeah,
you woke
asleep.
Me up. Yeah.
I woke you up.
Yeah, Betsy woke me up saying like, hey, can you go get me some nachos?
That one time I had a craving.
Yep. And I was like, nope. I was like, nope. Babe, I'm tired. There's no way I'm going to get out of bed to go all the way to Filiberto's to get you some nachos.
That's the thing I remember the most.
Yeah, that really, really like hit her hard because, like she says, she didn't have any cravings. And she was like, please, can you like go get me this? I'm really craving it. And me being the jerk that I was like, nope, I'm tired. There's no way I'm getting my ass out of bed to go get you some cravings. Like, yeah, that was terrible. She lets me live it down now, but at the time she didn't let me live it down. Another scenario that happened was where I came home from work. I was working the night shift, so I started work at 8, and I think I ended it at 2 in the morning, or 4 in the morning. It was 4 in the morning. So I ended up leaving at 4 in the morning, and I got home. I was super tired, and we had baby classes, and the baby classes are very important to Betsy. And you know, I was just so dead tired to the point where I get into bed, and then Betsy gets up, and I'm laying there for, I don't know, good 15 minutes. And Betsy's like, babe, we're going to be late. And I was like, late for what?
I think the classes started at 8 and we had to leave at 7 because it was kind of far.
Yeah,
and there was traffic.
Far.
Like
So,
rush hour.
Yeah, so I was just like dead tired. I didn't want to go anywhere. I was like, I am not going to the baby classes. I am not going. I'll tell you that right now. And Betsy was like, babe, like, these are important classes. Like, we need to go. Like, this is information that we need for the baby. And I was like, I am dead tired. I just came home from work. No, I am not going. So then Betsy's like, fine.
I'm taking the bus.
I'm taking the bus. I was like, hell no, you're not taking the bus. You're pregnant. Like, and Betsy was like, what, 6 months?
No,
6
I
months?
think I was like 8 already.
8? Yeah, she was already like there. So, you know, I'm like, look at you. You're 5'4". No, 4'10". That's my size. You know, you're 4'10". You're pregnant. Like, you're not getting on the damn bus. It's so dangerous.
4'11".
No, you're 4'10".
4'11".
All right, 4'11". So anyway,
I'm 4'10 and a half.
So she threatens me by getting on the bus, and that sends me for the freaking loop. I was like, oh my God. She's like, I'm leaving. Like, literally, she was like trying to get out the door. So I grabbed my keys and I slammed the door, and I'm closing it all upset. I get in the car and we drive. And here's what makes it worse. When you're getting out of work and you're dead tired, like when you work at a warehouse, and the sun is literally beaming you from the front, and like you're already dead tired in the eyes, and you're just like so pissed. And it was just, the whole ride was just an irritating ride.
He was driving angry with the sun in his eyes, and I was over here bawling myself.
Yeah, she was crying because of the situation.
Of everything.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't exactly help the situation, and
that was a crybaby.
Yeah, no. Well, you know, emotions. It's what they were. So yeah, we get there, and though, here's the kicker. We ended up being one of the few parents that actually made it on time to every single class, which was like, what, 6 classes, 7 classes? It wasn't many classes. It was a very few. For the parents that came to class on time and was there every single day, they had a prize. And because Betsy got my ass out of bed and we went to the classes, we were the only parents that ended up going there on time every time. And we ended up getting a little baby... a bouncer.
It's a baby bouncer with music.
For JD. Yeah, it was really cool. So
Yeah.
I was like, good job, babe. Get my lazy ass out of bed. Yeah, so like the first 2 years were the roughest. Those were like the roughest ones. And then thereon after, like things started steadily getting better. You know, I started reflecting more often. And at about the 5th year...
I feel that's when everything started to change because I started treating you the way that you were treating me. Mm-hmm. And I feel that's when you were like, oh, this is how Betsy feels.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like I was seeing it from my perspective and say like, man, like, look, this is not just men and women. This is either or, right? When it comes to relationship, it's not just men and it's not just women. But what happens is that when someone does it to you and you start to realize, right, most people's reactions is to get upset and do it 2 times as harder. Like, you want to play this game? I can play it too. Instead of saying, you know what? Shit. I made Betsy feel like this. I made her feel like this for a long time. And for me to see it and feel how she felt, it really hit me. I was like, holy shit, like, that's terrible. Like, how can I do that? Like, how can I do that to someone I love? So that's where, again, reflection came into play. And, you know, I told myself, like, no, I can't be a hypocrite like that. I can't. And I apologized to Betsy. I said, you know what, my love? I'm so sorry for everything that I did. Like, I didn't see it until I saw it.
Yeah, I feel like that's when everything started changing, when you started like thinking, having that realization, and
Yeah.
started thinking that way. I think it took, what, 5 years? Yeah, I feel like it was my ego that was keeping us together, like the love and the ego that I had, because I loved you too much to
Yeah.
let you go, but then the way you were treating me made me,
Question it.
yeah, question it. So that's where the ego,
Came into play.
yes. It's like those words, but then I can't say them. Yeah, I didn't want my mom to be right and like tell me, see, I told you not to get married so young. I told you. I
We
think,
don't like being wrong.
yeah, we don't like being wrong. So I think that's mostly what kept us
Also kept us.
together.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you ever had like a voice like try to, it's kind of like they say, you know, you got the devil on the shoulder and then you got the angel on this on this shoulder, and they're trying to help you out in a situation or hinder you in a situation. So when it came to these epiphanies, right, this reflection period, I did like this voice would talk to me in the sense of like, dude, you know what, you can be an asshole, you can be a straight up jerk. Like, I don't know if you see this, but try to put yourself in the shoes of your partner. Think about that for a second. And I never thought of that, right? Like, some voice is just like telling me like, dude, take a second, realize it. Step in her shoes and try to feel how she feels. And I'd be like, you know what? Like, how, like in this situation, like, how did I make Betsy feel? And just realizing it was just like, it was like fighting Mike Tyson's feelings, right? It was like left and right hooks, like boom, boom, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm doing this, right? So this voice, be it like conscious, be it God, be it whatever it may be, like, this voice has helped me out in a lot of situations involving Betsy, because it always wanted me to see her point of view. It was like, you need to see this so that you can understand the situation and better the situation instead of causing another issue when it comes to fighting. So, yeah, it really helped me out when it came to like the epiphany that I had with Betsy. When I had this epiphany, I was like, man, like, I looked at Betsy, and when I would look at her, like, prior to that, like, I saw her as Betsy, you know, like, oh, well, that's, you know, that's my wife, you know, that's Betsy, right? Which is just simple. That's my wife. That's Betsy. And then when I had this epiphany, I was like, holy shit, like, that's the love of my life. That is like my everything. That is my being. That is my essence. That is my goal right there. Like,
you're gonna make me cry.
it's true, because, you know, it was like, it was a difficult transition, because like, once I had this epiphany, like, in came all these feelings of how I made her feel, and it hurt me so much. It hurt me to realize that the person I loved, that I made them feel this way. And it was just really hard. But I was like, man, like, I love this woman to utmost death. Like, I want her to be the happiest woman in the world. Like, I want to do everything to make her happy. Now, you know, when saying that, it wasn't like, you know, Betsy kept treating me, you know, the way that I treated her. We both, like when I took that step, she followed, right? Instead of me taking these steps and her saying, you know, no, I'm going to retaliate. When it comes to that, it's just truly understanding your partner's perspective, right? Again, you got to be in tuned with yourself to be in tuned with the person that's in front of you. So a lot of the times I tell people, the number one thing you can do to start changing is to love yourself, right? And for a lot of people, that's very difficult. A lot of people can't even stare in the mirror and be okay with who they are. Mm-hmm. So when you finally learn to just let go of all the mistakes that you've done in your life, when you learn to, you know, get through all that darkness that you've placed upon yourself, because that's what we do. We put so much on ourselves that, you know, we create this barrier of just negativity. And when you can get past all that and reach your inner self, your inner child that believes in the possibilities of anything, right? That when we're kids, we believe I can be an astronaut, or I can do this, or I can do that. Like, there is nothing that stops us. When we get older, what happens is that a lot of setbacks start to hinder that confidence of, man, I am capable of doing stuff, and you start to beat yourself up with every mistake that you do. So, first and foremost, love yourself. You got to love yourself first before you can love someone else. Like they say, when you start to overflow with love, you can pour it into someone else's cup, and that is your partner. That's the person you want to pour your love into. And when they get love that's poured from you, when they overfill, then it goes on and so forth. That's how you start to create a better world, right? So once you start loving yourself, you can love someone else. And then you start to understand that not only do your views and your decisions and what you believe is true, it's you start to accepting other people's beliefs. And then, for them to believe it's true, it's like, okay, like if Betsy thinks that something is true and I don't dismiss it right off the bat. I don't say like, all right, yeah, whatever. No, it's okay. Like I understand that's your truth and I accept it. Now, I don't fight it. I'm not like, no, you're wrong. I'm right. I'm the right one here. Whatever you're saying is just dumb. Like it's just nothing to me. You can't be like that. Because remember, we're individual people still. We're married, but I still have my family. I still have my friends. I still have my beliefs. I still have my dreams. Betsy does too. Betsy has her family, her friends, her things that she's going to go through, right? So her beliefs have to be important to me. Even though I may not accept them, they're a part of her. So I need to learn to accept it and help her out in any way that I can. So like that's the important lesson when you start to really take reflection to the next level.
Yeah, I saw the change in you. That's why I was like, I need to fight for my husband. I want to be with you. I love you. That's why I married you. Like our daughter needs to have both parents together,
Yep.
And seeing us happy is what I want to show Janie,
her. Yeah, exactly. So, it was me and Betsy both taking these steps together now. And, man, it was the greatest day of my life when, that happened, because like everything changed. I was all about, here's the funniest thing. In very, 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 very rare occasions, does Betsy ever open her own door. That's like number one to me. Number one, it's like I open my wife's door. I open it. That is embedded. That is in my DNA. That's like instant without me realizing it. Oh, there you go, love. There you go. Like it's my thing for her. Like I do not like her opening her own doors.
You push my chairs back when we're gonna sit down.
You tell it. You tell it.
We had gone to it was Blackbird Diner, right?
Diner, yeah.
Blackbird Diner.
Yeah.
And we came. My husband opened the chair for me. I sat down. You opened the chair for JD. She sat down, and then you sat down last. And we ordered our food, and while we were waiting for our food to come in, there's this older gentleman. He came over to us and he said, "Hey, I just want to take a moment to tell you guys that you have a beautiful family. I saw the way that your husband opened the chair for you, and you don't see that very often anymore. There's not much chivalry."
Yeah, chivalry. Yeah.
Chivalry.
Yeah. That, like, I don't do it to impress. Never. And once in my life was like, oh, I'm doing this for the purpose of getting notoriety. Never. Like, that is my biggest thing to my heart. Like, my wife should never open her doors. I have to pull out the seat for her, because that's the person that I love and admire the most. Like, I want to do all these things for her. All right, guys, we got more to say, but we are already hitting the peak of our time, and this is going to get really long. So we're going to save this for the next episode. So put away your snacks, put away your drinks for the next episode. Again, like I know we haven't said this in the last episode, but, we appreciate each and every one of you that, come to our channel and check out our videos. And, we love you guys a lot. So if you haven't, I know this is difficult, because it's in every video that people on YouTube post. But if you haven't had the chance to subscribe, please do so. And if you could hit like on our videos, that would mean the world to us.
And the bell.
And the bell, the notification.
The notification bell. Bing, bing. And again, this is like something that has worked for us. It's our story, our perspectives. It's not professional advice or
like if we're trying to advise, like take it in your own terms, in the sense of you got to put all your situation in front of you. Like, this is my marriage, this is this, hey, reflection, that seems like it could help me, right? And if you start delving more into reflection, it could help you out. So we're not trying to like throw things out there and have people like, oh, this is the miracle cure. It's just us explaining our scenarios, our situations, and what helped us get through it. So hopefully it might help you guys get through it as well.
All right, guys. Well, I know this was a very long episode, but we hope you guys enjoyed it and hope that your love is everlasting. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.